Hello, I am Dar'shun Kendrick, State Representative for the Great 95th House District, which includes East DeKalb and South Gwinnett counties. And I am pleased to present my 2026 legislative agenda. This year, 2026, will be my 16th year serving over 60,000 constituents in the Georgia House of Representatives, and it has been the honor of my lifetime. My number one priority has and will always be economic development, empowerment, and sustainability for all Georgians. As long as I am elected, I will continue to lead that fight to make sure that you can take care of yourself and those you care about in your communities. First, let me remind you of the legislation I proposed during the 2025 legislative session. HB 7, a rural tech workforce tax credit, allowing a $4,000 income tax credit for individual graduates of a workforce readiness program to equip our most vulnerable communities with the jobs of the future. HB 8, which is a renewal of the angel investor tax credit that allows a 30% income tax credit for investments in qualified high-tech jobs. But this bill removes the requirement of being a qualified investor or a wealthy investor to take advantage of the tax credit. HB 345. This would prohibit insurance companies from raising your insurance rates for at least 3 years when there is significant legislation limiting consumer payouts and damages, like the Republican-led tort reform bill that passed last session. Tort reform was proposed on the excuse that insurance rates are skyrocketing. So if we are going to limit payouts to hardworking Georgians that have been injured through no fault of their own, we can limit profits for insurance companies that are already making record-breaking profits. HB 478. This is an artificial intelligence bill that would require images generated for consumer use by artificial intelligence to have a prominent disclaimer to the public that the image has been generated by artificial intelligence. This is a common sense consumer protection bill as our technologies continue to blur the lines between reality and imagination. And last, HR 557. Which created a House study committee to review Georgia's investment funds here in the state and provide a report before the beginning of the 2026 legislative session. I am proud to report that this legislation passed last session, and I now serve as vice chair of the study committee. The committee hopes to have recommendations soon about how to support Georgia businesses by providing a robust investor community and ecosystem here in Georgia. So what is new? Well, I am focusing even more on supporting you and your pockets this legislative session. First, I am proposing a tax-free month in August on groceries, gas, and school supplies. Georgians are feeling the pinch from this economy and the government shutdown. If there is something the state can do with the almost $15 billion in reserves to alleviate some pressure on Georgia's purchasing everyday items, I think that we should do it. Second, for housing, I am proposing a bill requiring a physical presence in the state for a certain number of years before corporate investors can purchase more than 20 houses per year. Additionally, this bill will have a provision that rentals owned by large corporate investors are assessed taxes at 100% of the value of the home versus the 40% that individual owners will continue to enjoy. And third, but not least, a bill to empower homeowners. This bill would give legal standing and authority to anyone residing within a subdivision to initiate court proceedings against squatters. With this legal status, homeowners will be empowered and authorized to request that a squatter be removed from the premises. Now, I know that this is a lofty legislative agenda, but I believe it is what is required at this moment, and I believe every Georgian is worth it. Every resident of Georgia deserves life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but that requires empowering everyday Georgians economically. I believe this legislative agenda and the one I presented in 2025 are on the right track to give much needed relief to Georgians in this time of economic turmoil and uncertainty. I hope that you will follow me on social media at Dar'shun Kendrick on Instagram and TikTok, and State Representative Dar'shun Kendrick on Facebook. I need each of you to advocate and loudly voice your support of these legislative items. And as we move through the legislative process, call, email, show up, write, and ask for a hearing and a vote every chance you get on these bills that speak to you. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to representing the great 95th House District strongly this upcoming legislative session.